The Butterfly Pavilion actually started because my son was an entomology project person in 4-H. We were promoting pollinators a lot on our farm because we're selling plants and we want people to have flowers in their gardens to have their pollinators. And at that time, SARE, Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education, had some money for some youth grants. He put in a grant proposal to put up a high tunnel, and we would use the high tunnel in the spring for early vegetables and cut flowers. And then during the summer, he would plant plants for host plants and nectar plants for the butterflies, and we would bring butterflies in. And then people could go through that in the fall when they were out here for picking up their pumpkins. And it worked wonderful, and now we do school groups that come out during the fall, and we have a whole school program where they learn about metamorphosis and the cycle of life of insects. But it all started with a 4-H project. 20 years ago, our family was selected to go to Washington, D.C. to talk to inner-city school kids about agriculture during National Agriculture Week. We went into 9 different schools. We spoke at USDA in front of 200 kids. So we were talking to all these inner-city kids about agriculture. We get into the first classroom and we give them our 20-minute slide presentation of what we do on our farm. And we opened it up for questions. Now, prior going on this trip, we practiced with our kids not to laugh at silly questions. Because here in Kansas, we still get the question, does chocolate milk come from brown cows? So, we've tried to work on them. Don't laugh. It could be a silly question. Don't laugh. So we opened it up for questions. The very first question was, what type of crop rotation do you use on your farm? Well, that's a pretty good question. So we talked about crop rotation. Next question was, do you use integrated pest management? I talk to people in Kansas and 9 out of 10 don't know what integrated pest management means. So these were excellent questions that we could talk to the kids about, and we really talked about agriculture. After going on this tour of schools and this trip to Washington, we realized that they knew agriculture because they studied it. They were studying things that George Washington Carver, he was a role model for a lot of the inner city black kids. So what did George Washington Carver propose? Crop rotation. And so that's how they knew about that. And they were studying it in their classrooms. Here in Kansas, we feel that agriculture should be learned through osmosis because they live, 10 miles from a farm. Unless they're living and working on the farm, they really may not understand that very well, and we don't teach it in our schools. So we have been proponents of having agricultural information gotten out to the schools. We worked with a group that got our Slice of Ag program started here in Douglas County, and it's a Slice of Ag is a 2-day program. We bring almost 1,000 4th graders into the arena at the fairgrounds and talk to them about horticulture, grain crops, cattle and dairy and pork, food safety, soil conservation, and agricultural equipment. So we have 8 different sections that they go to, and they kind of go 13 minutes at each section around, and it's in the shape of a pizza pie. So then after they get through that, we feed them pizza and carrot sticks and a meal from agricultural products. We kind of got that started, and then with the Butterfly House, we've been working a lot with schools. So after the trip to Washington, we've decided that it's very important that we let people here in Kansas know about agriculture, because even most of them are a generation or 2 or 3 or 4 away from the